I love it when I just fall into the state of flow and design something. Listen, I like standing up when I do computer stuff. And this is so I can actually use it as for to do videos on. I'll back up a little more. It's messy because I'm totally rearranging everything, and because it's time. Finally, it's like a due diligence reward. But look at that. It's got. I mean, I could pick it up too. It's really strong. But, but oops, it's really strong. But it's just stuff. I don't know what the name. I didn't look it up. But when the Japanese do it, it's like you use what's. I mean, we don't need any more stuff. I mean, as far as why do you go to this hardware store when you could just improv something? And it's like in Japanese, there's a word for it. I didn't look it up before I did the video, but it's like when you reuse existing stuff, you're like, that feels way better than buying something new. And we don't teach our kids to, it's like I always say, it's like if you're not doing something new, if you don't do what's new, you end up to be fish chum. You always got to be, innovating. And that's an exercise of the mind, just like a physical exercising. It's like, and then like, another point on this is there's a, like as you get older, your short-term memory starts to, that's where it starts to get weak, unless you're always testing yourself, and a lot of that has to do, it's like, you walk into your toxic box, into a house or apartment or whatever, the toxic boxes, think of the air you're breathing, and it's all, it's all synthetic, and it's like you put your keys in the same place, all the dishes are all in the same place, everything's all perfectly arranged. Well, that's, it like puts the mind to sleep because you're not testing yourself. And so you always got to be testing yourself, always putting yourself into something new and growing the state of flow. I don't know what you do or something, but there's something you do that you don't know if an hour went by or 2 hours. I just it was starting, the sun was setting, I watched the sunset, and then I came in here and I go, hey, what if I was using this piece, studying clamshell design, the one that's stuck here in the bottom, that's coming up that way, that's holding that, and I needed something over the top, so I could pick this desk up and move it anywhere I want and use it as so I could shoot videos from there, because you can get the lighting right and everything else. Now I'm showing you another one under construction. It's going to be, this is, you can see here, I can walk right through here to this other side, the messy. But here's it's going to be a, like shelter here, but then the front tips up like a teepee over the fire. So you can heat this place with you can't see, I'll show it when I'm done, but I'll walk through this way. It's got a couple ways. I'm just going to put a roof on it at first, but you can walk both ways around the outside. And then that's just hanging there high enough so I don't run into it. I ran into it once already. But yeah, I'm always improvising. Always improvise. Do something new all the time that no one's ever done. And this is my self-accountability mirror. And it's really important thing about your life is that you get a self-accountability mirror, because there's 3 states of feelings: positive, negative, and transitional. Now, if you don't know that, then you get stuck in one or the other. And so when you look at yourself in the mirror and you mean it, is it positive? Is it negative? Or is it, are you using the mirror for a transitional state? Which is very often the good thing to do. Because, it's like what you did yesterday, doesn't mean a damn thing today. All right? Today won't mean shit. And so keep resetting your mind and live so that nothing ever, gets in your way, and that you locally are more important than the remote control Christian terrorist entity in our area, and it's all over. I mean, there is no, we inherited procedurally programmed environment that's all based on when symbols became sound, fantasy became fact. Think about it. It used to be just eye and a deer. And you could see an eye, that's a symbol of an eye, and then you see a symbol of a deer. But eye and deer. But then, Mesopotamia, why don't we add some sound to that? Idea. And so that's what, it's like, okay. And then with the sensory deprivation, when we read, you hear it in your ears, and, our eyes focus on like 80% of our processing, I think it is, but we get overridden because of the alphabetic technology. And so that's where that the G-Zonus, I'll give you the tools: music, math, now language serving dominion, will forever leave our world better. And discoveries don't need a discoverer. It needs you. Founders. G-Time founders. GFers. G-Time founders. And this is year G6. Jesus. GFers. GFers. Jesus. Second coming of life. Truly. It truly is. GFers. G-Time founders. Growing flow, a lot of GFs. The other one, you'll get that. It's the same as like when they captured fire. They captured fire, and think about it, 90% of the population they tried to share fire with ran away yelling, fire, 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 because their parents, their life has been threatened by fire. But then the people who caught the fire, who captured fire the first time, they went to share it. It's like, well, only the innovators are going to go, hey, that's pretty cool. It's like fire was probably it gave us more free time. And that's where, when food safety and shelter are secure, then the creative you begins. So I love you all, friends. And into my self-accountability mirror I stare.